Hello YouTube, this is a first of hopefully several reports on using different styles of yeast when making mead. Now, I've looked on YouTube and there's not a whole lot of mead recipes that is out there, at least enough to help those of us who make mead as a hobby. So hopefully this will inspire others out there and will change that and get the fires burning for all those out there who want to make mead, who is just a little shy of what exactly to start when you go to the local brewer and you find this huge selection of yeasts and other varying ingredients to make meads. Because mead doesn't necessarily have to be water and honey. There's some yeast involved. You can add flavors to it and create a huge array. And one of the main ingredients that is typically overlooked, I overlooked it for many years, that changes the taste of mead greatly from type to type to type, is yeast. So this is first of hopefully several that will be focused on the different flavors you get from different yeasts in the fermentation of your meads. In this case, I'm using, excuse me, Muntons. It's a yellow packet, dry yeast. The mead here, not exactly the greatest camera shots, but there we go. It looks terrible on screen. This overhead light is just giving me an absolute terrible wash. I wonder. Yeah. Anyways, this is it. It is a lemony yellow look to it. And this is what you get when you use bentonite as the clearing agent and Muntons as the dry yeast into it. Now, this is my standard recipe, which means it has a hint of orange as a yeast nutrient, and it has been fermenting for 3 months. The smell is light and smells of lemon. There's no heaviness of any kind of honey in it at all. And no smell of any kind of alcohol. Sometimes with these meads you'll end up getting a white wine type of taste with it. So in other yeast, you won't get that at all. I did one earlier that was inspired by another brewing show that's out there to use beer yeast. And I was using a British pale ale. And you could have sworn that it wasn't honey at all in this, but it was apple or pear. Very light. There's a hint of the honey in the background, but it's mostly of a light fruit. That orange is put in there just as a kind of like a yeast nutrient. And it's coming up on a bit more of a, dare I say, a lemony side. This will be fantastic ice cold. Now it does have a bit of a hint of a heaviness in the back of the palate, as well as a tinge of a bitterness. Just wants to creep in there, way in the back, but it's so faint, it's almost forgetful. Now put this ice cold. This will be a fantastic summer mead to it. So this is Muntons, cleared with bentonite, 3-month fermentation. It's a beautiful yellow, lemony yellow to it. And you wouldn't even know it was made out of honey. Not one bit. The numbers are a bit off. So I learned an error I've been making. Sugar is at 9, gravity is at 30, the ABV is at 4. The ABV is false. Turns out, and I did not know this, and stupidity on my part, when you run the hydrometer, you run it twice. First pre-fermentation, and the second after fermentation. You subtract the numbers, and this gives you your ABV. So an ABV of 4, which beers run around 4, 5, 6, maybe upwards of 7, is false. I'm willing to bet the ABV is at least double that. Now you can't taste it, but my guess, knowing that you have to subtract from pre-fermentation to what it is after fermentation, I'm willing to bet pre-fermentation is going to be a lot higher. Because the way that I judge the gravity is a very medieval style, which instead of using a hydrometer, I use a raw egg. What you do is you take a raw egg, you put it into the kettle with the water, you keep adding honey until the egg floats. When that happens, you know the density of the liquid has created an appropriate gravity for you to stop adding honey, and now you got a consistency between batches. I've never bothered to check what the gravity is, thus the ABV and everything else on a hydrometer, since I was always using that formula of making my meads. So hopefully in the future I'll find out what the gravity is when I start running some more test batches of different dry yeasts, and then I'll actually know what the actual ABV is, instead of looking at 4 or 5 and stuff like that when of what I'm beginning currently. So there you go. Hopefully this will inspire other people out there to actually start getting into more meads. We'll find more mead things out there. I've got a wide range of recipes that I can't wait to try and put them out there for you guys to see. Hopefully somebody out there is actually interested in seeing this. So thanks a lot, guys, and I'll end this way I usually end my reviews. Keep on drinking.